Hey everyone, Mike here today with some thoughts here on Jurassic World Evolution. So I'm about 9.5, 10 hours into the game so far, and we'll go ahead and continue the campaign here, take a look at the gameplay, give you some overall thoughts, and yeah, we'll see where it goes from there. I'll quickly point out as we're loading up here, no filtering on the audio this time. This game doesn't have a good frame rate limiter. Even when I use an external one, RTX voice, well, still gets all crackly and weird, which is a limitation of running it on a 1080 Ti as opposed to an actual RTX card. But anyways, this is the second of 5 islands. So the way this game works is that you kind of start off on this first island up here. They slowly ramp you into all the different mechanics and stuff. You do some missions and whatever, and eventually you unlock this second island that I'm currently on. And again, as you progress further and further in the game, you eventually unlock the third. And then if I keep working on this one, I'll unlock the other two. Now there is a sixth island up here. That one is mostly a sandbox map. So the progression is pretty straightforward. You will start off doing little contracts. Each of these contracts will, raise up the reputation for whoever is giving it and lower the other two. So some of these, obviously this is a bit of a downside, but you'll see some of the other ones will raise a little bit more, and it kind of balances out. But effectively what you try and do after a while is to focus on one person in particular. You hit a certain reputation, you start doing their mission or campaign structure, if you will, and then you'll get whatever fancy unlock that you get. So right now, I guess I'll probably get that medium power station, we'll see, which is what this mission's all about. But yeah, beyond that, it's a pretty straightforward game. Now the typical loop here will be to, just on time, go check out some fossils, extract DNA from them. We'll then go to the expedition map, send them off on... Oh, Nunu. Okay. Let's see, is there another one? This one's got them. Yeah, let's go here. We'll send an expedition out to the next site, and I'm looking for the that carnivore there, the Dilophosaurus. We'll go with that. I have no idea if that's pronounced correctly, but we'll pretend it is. So the way the game works is you need at least 50% of the genome extracted. So every one of those fossils, you slowly extract a little bit of the genome. And once you hit that 50%, if you incubate one of these dinosaurs, that's your viability. That's your base viability percentage. So ideally you want to try and get close to 100%. Whoops, as I accidentally double-clicked there. But the trick here is that you can also modify the genome, and that's where things get interesting. So, I can get a rating boost of 25% at the cost of 5% in viability. Now, this is not too bad, but if you start looking at some of these other options here, they start having quite a big impact in terms of viability as well. So it's kind of in your interest to have the high rating, because the park requirements want that. But then you're also carrying that risk of investing a lot of money and not getting anything paid out. So the closer you are to 100%, obviously the better the odds are. Of course, you can help yourself out here by also doing some upgrades. And so I can get 10%, 20%. As far as I know, this percentage just gets applied flatly. So if I'm at 80% and then I have the 20% upgrade, I'm 100%. That seems to be the case. Maybe I'm reading it wrong, but that seems to be what it is. So the upgrades are actually really powerful for this particular case. So anyways, this particular mission is interesting. They want me to construct a secure enclosure capable of containing a dinosaur combatants. And so what this guy wants me to do is to have 2 different carnivores together, which will probably engage in combat quite often. So we'll get some velociraptors. Actually, before then, let's quickly treat this disease. Where is this disease at? Here. Alright. So I could choose the rangers. I can add a task and tell them to go treat this guy. I could also manually drive it and then manually take out the it's not a tranquilizer gun in this case, but effectively is to treat the sick dinosaur. It's important to try and treat him pretty quickly because his disease can affect others if you don't respond quickly enough. And so the trade-off, in case you're wondering, is if I automatically treat him, the vehicles can take a little bit longer to do, but then I don't have to think about it, right? On the flip side, if you're dealing with a lot of stuff, it's probably easier to let the game do it on its own. Let the AI go and treat him, and then, you know, deal with some of the other stuff. Cool. We got new DNA here we'll extract. And since these are just valuable things, I will retain or hold on to those, and I'll sell them on the other island. So I can get money on that park that needs it more. Okay. We got a part or building that's damaged. So once again, the rangers here are kind of the go-to for that stuff. We'll send them out to do the repairs. This particular island has an extra challenge, being that these storms are quite violent and they damage equipment, and so I'd have to have one of these buildings here. I don't know if I can sneak one in. Yeah, I don't think I could sneak one in here. Anyways, there's special storm centers that would reduce the amount of damage inflicted, which I've not built in too many places. Let's build one here though. And then I'll just put a footpath down, connect it electrically, barely touching, and that's enough. That works. The science center there. Yeah, I could also, like I said, I could also drive them manually here. Now, apparently the different guests here, whoops, as I crash into the building, I don't know why they kind of hinted that, hey, maybe you should bring these guys in during a severe storm. But that doesn't seem to be necessary. Like, I don't have to bring them into the safety shelters. I've not really seen any negative effects letting the guests out during the storm. So who knows? I'm not too sure why that was kind of hinted to at the beginning. But yeah, there's enclosures, emergency shelters for when the dinosaurs wind up escaping. Oh, okay. We got a broken fence. Now we want to do the shelters, and let's get those rangers going. The task here, let's fix that fence up. So for some reason these, oh no, they just broke out. Fair enough. We'll grab the helicopter, start tranquilizing him. And is that one gonna escape? Yeah, that one's unfortunately gonna escape as well. So yeah, this is a scenario where, again, being able to do the manual control, this could be a little bit faster, but not always. I found that letting the AI deal with it can be a little bit easier at times. Mostly because some of these dinosaurs are pretty quick, and so by the time you get enough accuracy to move them, or to get your aim going, you could have just let the AI deal with it. it can work pretty well.
Heading to collect the asset.
So where's this last Velociraptor?
Proceed to your nearest shelter.
Presumably... Oh, there he is.
Yes, that's what we like to see. A steady hand. Good work.
Cool. So, we can close all the shelters, let people back out in the park and have some fun. You know, a little bit of a scare there with Velociraptors getting out. That's not too bad. So yeah, on that topic, if we look here, most dinosaurs will have all sorts of different stats to look at. The important part you're looking for is generally health to a certain extent, but more importantly, comfort. And so different dinosaurs will have kind of different red states for all sorts of stats. And so what happens with these Velociraptors especially is that they've got a really low threshold before they start getting agitated, and that's no good. And so in this case, he's going way down because his social requirements aren't being met. And you can see again the social range is very small. And so that's basically telling you, hey, Velociraptors, you need a couple of them together, but not too many, right? You just want a very small group of them. So generally, if you keep the comfort high, they don't tend to break out and escape. However, they did escape here somehow. You know, these electrified fences are not the best, but they tend to work. And so I could potentially build a second layer of fence or something to try and help myself out. Just kind of what we're trying to do here, because in this particular case, they really want me to engage in combat. So what we'll do is we'll do another pair of Velociraptors here. We'll go for the high rating. We have two different color patterns. We'll go with the Alpine one, just to make it a little bit different. And I think I've already got the max rating on this one. Yeah, that's looking like it. So a highly rated dinosaur with a lot of genes spliced in will cost a lot more. So that is one thing to keep in mind. And in this case, my viability is way down. So actually, before I do anything, yeah, may as well buy two of those. I have tons of money, so it's not a problem. But I do want to try and give myself the best chance. And actually, I want to make sure we increase the capacity. And then we'll incubate 3 Velociraptors. And then we'll check out the other one once I've got enough DNA. And I didn't even send them out on an expedition yet. So that's kind of the main loop of the game. You know, there's not a whole lot else to talk about. I think it's pretty good. You know, this is a Frontier Developments title. I've never really been a fan of their work. I don't know if Roller Coaster Tycoon 3 was their first game. I should have looked this up. But that's the first game that I played of theirs. And to be fair, you know, Roller Coaster Tycoon 2 is a classic. And so they had a lot of... they had to do a lot to live up to those expectations. And yeah, unfortunately, I didn't really like the changes in the direction they went with that one. But yeah, having said that, I found this game is definitely not bad. I like the sort of more, I don't know if casual is the right way to say it, but this game in some ways feels like they went for a more casual style of game and a bit less in terms of some of the mechanics, and it actually kind of works better in my opinion than some of their previous games, you know, because I'm kind of in the same boat with like Planet Coaster, which was another title they did. I wasn't too crazy about that. I wasn't too crazy about Planet Zoo either. But this one actually seems to work pretty well for me. You know, I've had a lot of fun playing it. They seem to have kind of nailed what they're going for. And yeah, I'm looking forward to the sequel, which is also available on Game Pass. Or which is available on Game Pass, rather. Is available in the sense that this one here, I'm playing on Steam. I don't believe it's available on Game Pass. And yeah, I got this through like a humble monthly bundle at one point, I believe. But I don't know, it's not very expensive. You can get it on Steam. It apparently retails for 50 US or Canadian, which means we get a bit of a good pricing. That doesn't sound right for regional pricing. Normally it'd be, you know, 60 or 70 here. So it is a little expensive. However, every time Steam has some sales, it comes down to 75% off, so it's only like $10 roughly. Again, the regional pricing seems weird from what I saw. So it is rather inexpensive, and once again, depending on the changes that they've done and how much this game has evolved, the sequel is available on Game Pass. So I don't know if I'll be checking that out next week. Maybe, maybe not. We'll have to see. But at least for this week, I think that should be it. So yeah, let's just rebuild this real quick. Take out these little fence bits. And let's release some velociraptors here, and then we'll have to see if there's anything keeping him unhappy or not. Yeah. This has been pretty fun. Okay, yeah, I still gotta wait for the actual animations and then the stats to start. And then we'll see what we need. Oh, I didn't do any water yet, so they're gonna complain about that. So let's do a little bit of landscaping. We'll just add a little bit of water here. Alright, he's content. That's good. And then yeah, we'll probably do 3 of these guys as well. The little Phosaurus. Feels wrong. I might not be saying it correctly, but it is what it is.
There's a theory.
Yeah, I think that's about it. You know, there's all sorts of other little small mechanics here and there, like food. I gotta tackle this area of the park. Same with actually shopping and fun is not too bad. Toilets, I probably have some. Yeah, these restrooms are overcrowded. I can add more staff to try and help. And yeah, all sorts of little side bits here and there. You know, there's some research and development I can be doing as well. But I think I've done everything so far. Yeah, so I need a research lab on the other island to continue that. So with that said, hope you guys enjoyed this video. And yeah, maybe next week I'll be doing Jurassic World Evolution 2. Who knows? Until then, this was Jurassic World Evolution, available on Steam, generally around $10 if you wait for sales, and yeah, I'll see you guys next week for another video.